Good day, this is Regina's Rabbit Hole, and this is Wandering Wednesdays. Much love to you and yours. Feel free to subscribe, press the like button. I'd appreciate you pressing the like button if you did like it. Today, we're talking about perception. I was wondering about some things, just how we think in general. I was looking at some material and I just bumped into this gorilla in a cage. A glass cage with its mate. And they were mating. And as they were mating, the crowd that was watching them would get loud. It was entertaining. Oh my goodness, oh! And the gorilla would stop. And then it would start. And when it would start, there was children, there was families, there's, husbands and wives, there's just people watching these gorillas. And, oh my gosh, hooping and hollering when he'd start up again. And when it got loud, he'd stop. When you think of procreation, what it takes to survive, this gorilla in the cage, and the lack of empathy, the severed emotions, the deferment of an idea that they don't matter, that they don't have shouldn't have any rights like we do, that it wasn't valuable in the way that we are. It's very speculative, right? If you know what I know now. There's this place called Mystic Aquarium in Connecticut. I always wanted to take my children there. I went there when I was younger. And I enjoyed the place, seeing the fish in there behind the glass and stuff. But knowing what I know now, what is the difference? Because I asked myself when I was wondering, between a shark in a aquarium and a shark in its environment, in its own environment. The shark in the aquarium is subject to the environment that it was put in, subjected by rules that say that we, because we're higher beings, right? Because we're human beings. Human being what? People who take sharks and put them in glass cages to watch them, rather than humans being in the shark's environment where it belongs at, right? Where the shark has to get acclimated to the human being and we to its environment. In order to get that information and to share that experience, basically we have to ask permission and submerge ourselves in the environment and take the risk to become a part of and respect that environment and that shark to be able to look at it. So the difference between deep diving and going snorkeling and buying a ticket and seeing it in an aquarium. The difference between being like that woman who used to she would save the gorillas, and she's in Asia, I forget her name. I wish I could remember it now. I did research on her years ago. There was this woman, I think they called it a gorilla lady. She used to save the gorillas. She's passed now. But she has a lot of beautiful footage in her documentaries. I wish I could remember the name of it. I will look it up and probably see if I'll drop it. But going into their habitat and becoming a part of the environment versus putting them behind a glass where we're disturbing them while they try to mate and procreate. It's like the difference between this perception. I'm wondering if you can get with this, right? Knowing what they put chickens through and the reason why one might become a vegetarian. When I first became a vegetarian, it was because I learned what the chicken was doing to me. They put chemicals in it, and it's hard on my digestive system. You know, I want stuff to go easier. So that must be, you know what I'm saying, the problem. So I'm not going to eat the meat because of the chemicals and stuff they put in it. As I did more research, my perception changed, and I saw the way that they treated the chickens and treated the animals. It wasn't just the chemicals that they put in it that would affect me, but it was the way they treated the animals that affected me. And then I hadn't even realized that there was transference at the time. What's watching it was just awful. And all that pain and suffering goes into the cell structure of the meat before they chop its little head off and chop it into bits and parts and stuff and feed it to us. It's a zoo out there. My phone is on 14%. I have started over so many times today. I may do it again just so that I can get through a whole lineup. All right, so that's perception, you know? The process of thought, intent, will, and the essence of the human being that decides, that can make a decision on yay or nay. Take Rikers Island and Hitler and the Nazi Party and the theory of evolution. Take deciding that people's facial features and skin color would decide on whether they were acceptable or not, on whether they got to be the ones in the cage or the ones perceiving the cage, or the ones who built the cage for others to buy the ticket to see. What we co-sign is very important and a part of our perceptions. I was wondering about consciousness. It all starts with a thought. Our thoughts are light forms, being. We are human beings. Language was made from a light code frequency. Check out Econian. So our words whirl and make worlds. We can look at the Vikings and the Moors, maroon. We can look at the monsoon. I was wondering about the monsoon at one time. My research led me to the fact that Energy never dies, it only transfers. And this energy of the monsoon is a spiritual energy of the ancestors that are traveling on the wind. The same essence that energy never dies, it only transfers. The same essence I use to speak to our creator that I know consists of the elements, fire, water, earth, air, and ether. Are the same I'll start over when I get home. Charge up my phone. Maybe I should eat something. I haven't eaten. Maybe that will change the way they've had an advantage all day long on this fucking remote control energy weapons and shit like that. They've been pointing at me all day. My brain has been scattered and there's been a lot of irregular activity and a lot of gaslighting and just getting frustrated. Can't shut my phone off. It won't allow the phone off. Wow, really though?